Yeah.
That's better.
Oh, close the door. Oh, we're live. Hello, and welcome to the EUSL Winter League. In tonight's match, we've got the youngest ever player in the EUSL Xbox division, perhaps the youngest ever player in the EUSL, Mr. Kian, playing against Liamnolan, representing Memphis FC. I have Mr. Kian's manager here with me, right up there, Mr. Ray Samora. Ray, how are you doing?
I am doing okay. I'm trying to get everything set up here on the control side of things, so just bear with me a moment.
As you can tell, we totally have it together here on this first matchup. Well, what do you expect that's going to come out of this match if you're not too busy playing tech support?
All right, there we go. Yeah, he's a bit nervous because obviously he's a very young player, and we'll see how things go. But I'm excited for this to see what he can do. When I offered him the opportunity, he was ready for it. So he's anticipating a struggle for the first season as being one of the youngest being the youngest player ever on it. But I think he'll have some fun with it.
Fun. So what's going on here with this Leicester City? I was told that it was going to be Tottenham.
Hold on really quick again. I apologize, Dylan.
I don't know. We'll just have some dead air for a few seconds, but we can talk about this Leicester City side representing Orange County SC. Of course, Liamnolan representing Memphis 901 FC. Hopefully, things go about as well as they do for Mr. Nolan as they do for the real life Memphis 901 FC. But Leicester City, not all that long ago that they did win the EPL title, but with a little bit more expert finishing in front of goal. Ray, do you want to give us your thoughts? What's coming in this match beyond some first-time nerves for Kian?
I'm expecting some great soccer here. We'll see how things go on this. It's going to be a tough match for him. He's been playing a lot more Rocket League as of late, so we'll see if that impacts his FIFA skill. But I know if you ask Alan from our podcast, a few months back, he played against Kian, and Kian gave him a pretty decent match. So we'll see how that goes. And the match is underway as we're speaking right now, and he's Kian's won the ball back, but gives it away right in the midfield there.
Well, no disrespect to our co-host, Mr. Alan Underwood, a Underwood 48 on the Twitter machines, but he is not exactly the best FIFA player.
And a great header clearance in the defense there by the youngest player ever in the EUSL. Corner kick for Chelsea. And Kian was planning on using Tottenham. We hadn't really taken a look at the updated team ratings, but we learned that Tottenham is a 5-star team now, apparently. So it was a last-minute change to Leicester City, and they've given up a goal.
Well, Mr. Kai Havertz hasn't found the net in real life, but he has found the net inside the opening 10 minutes here. Not the best start for him, but if there's anything I know about this Leicester side, they are not one to be written off early.
And one of the things I figured I would do here for this first match is I'd jump on the play-by-play with you, Dylan, just so people weren't worried that I'm playing and pretending to be my son on this league. I wanted people to know that it is him, so that's why I'm here on the play-by-play with you for this match. And I'm hoping he can get a win or two this season. That would be pretty cool to see him get a win or two, if not more, of course. But Chelsea with the ball in the midfield. You got Rudiger, the defense back there. Playing the ball through the middle is what Chelsea's doing right now. I'll have to ask you this, Dylan. Have you caught any of the Premier League this season?
I have, in fact, watched a handful of matches. Yes, I am a little bit, I would say, of a Leicester. I hope they do well. I would not say I'm a Leicester fan by any stretch of the imagination, but they're starting left back in this match and a handful of other matches. Number 2, you see him there just in the corner of your screen. James Justin, Luton-born player, arrived in summer of 2019 for an estimated £8 million.
Look at that. What a turn by the youngster. Almost gets
just a heavy touch.
Ooh.
And the man himself, James Justin, on the ball.
That was a little excitement right there with that turn right outside of the penalty box and almost led to a goal, if not for that heavy touch, like you said, Dylan.
Chelsea with a chance to counterattack here, opting just to hold a little bit more possession. But I have to say, for being, well, I don't exactly remember how old Kian is, but very young. He is holding his own here.
He is.
Oh, Havertz, but Kasper Schmeichel, visions of his father, visions of himself over these last few years, makes an excellent save, and Chelsea have their second corner of the match.
Another good defensive play by the youngster, getting the ball out of the box. They can't really keep control of it, which is something you probably have to do against a very good Chelsea squad. Again, Kian's representing Orange County, just like I tend to do in this tournament or this league. And the opponent, Liam, is representing Memphis. But I would say if you're Kian, the youngster here, you've got to be pretty happy with how your first 25 minutes of gameplay have gone. To only have conceded one goal and have had a really good opportunity. If not for that heavy touch, it could be a tie game right now.
Now, Ray, I do have to ask you, Tottenham, your favorite team in real life, is a 5-star team, but Chelsea, their neighbors, not a 5-star team.
That again, it surprised me a little bit. I wasn't ready for this, and Kian wasn't ready for it either. So I myself am going to have to sort of make a last-minute decision on what team I'm going to use, being that Tottenham is a 5-star team in this. So we'll see how that goes as Kian comes in for a chance and a good save.
Mendy does well there, only as far as EUSL.
And here comes Chelsea with the counter, and this time instead of holding onto the ball, they're going for some pace down the left side of the pitch. It's Christian Pulisic.
Only one man in the box. He beats his man, cuts inside again. He's got a one-on-one, and Schmeichel makes another excellent save. So a little bit of space there, despite playing 5 at the back here.
And I'm wondering, like, you're watching, I haven't watched Kian play FIFA in a while. As he gets a breakdown, he's got a chance. Oh,
Madison, just tries to cut it back onto his favored right foot. Mendy does well.
You just got to go for power with your left on that. That's a shot you have to take. You can't try and pull it back there at that moment. But hey, it's what happens. And I totally forget what we were talking about. I was mentioning I hadn't watched him play FIFA in a while. He's, like I said, he's been playing a lot more Rocket League. That's become his favorite, his go-to game on the Xbox. He's gotten really good at that. And because I think there's some soccer feel to that, and you actually have to play some good defense on that game, which is difficult. I think that might be helping some of his defense here because he's actually playing pretty well defensively. A couple of gaps, a couple of holes here and there, but he's holding his own on this game. As we've got Chelsea with an opportunity here, turn in the box.
Timo Werner, he tries to cut it back, and an excellent bit of defensive work from Yuri Tielemans there.
The one thing I'm impressed with Kian here is he's actually doing a really good job of hold-up play. Like if you watch, he's being very physical, holding off defenders, which a lot of beginners aren't really good or adept at doing. I'm probably messing up words there, so make fun of me.
Adept.
Same thing.
Hey, you were close.
I was close. Yes. Good for me. But a lot of beginners and youngsters that play this game don't really know how to use the physicality, which is always a good tool to use when you're playing this game. And I'm very excited to see that he's doing that.
Justin on a strong foot cuts it.
Oh!
Tielemans, and Tielemans buries this one.
But he is
into
offside.
Right corner. Disappointing. Bit of a high line there from Chelsea, despite the pretty good attacking movement from Leicester. So yes, Ray, as we head into first half stoppage time, Keane has quite a lot to look forward to here. He must be a truly proud father. Just a minute of added stoppage time. Chelsea with one attack here. And Kasper Schmeichel is beaten at his near post. I believe it's Kai Havertz again. Indeed it is. And he's doing some breakdancing.
At least he's not doing some of those like cat movements that you're so fond of on this game.
Yes, fond is the verb I would use. Not sure how Frank Lampard's going to be feeling about those dance moves, but hey, they'll have 15 digital minutes to talk about it as the players go into the half. 1-0 Memphis. Mr. Liamnolan with the lead here. Ray, what needs to change in the second half for Keane to get back in on level terms in this one?
Keane needs to take advantage of his opportunities. He had 2 to 3 good opportunities there. A good save and then a poor decision to try and cut it back onto his strong foot for Madison, and then the offside call. But look at Keane becoming aggressive here to start the second half, and he's going to potentially score a goal, just misses out. Now Chelsea's back on the counter. Let's see if Chelsea can answer on this counter, although Leicester City's got some defense back. Let's see if they can hold it. Yeah, we need to see a quick goal from Leicester City here if they're going to have a chance to really get back into this match. I don't think they can really sit back and hope for magic to happen. They need to take advantage of some stuff and get a goal quickly.
Still 40 digital minutes left in this one. Jamie Vardy didn't get to say his name at all in the first half. Didn't do much of anything. Couple forays into the attacking movement, but the giveaway gives the ball back to Chelsea, and they are back on the front foot.
Here comes an attack
Firmino.
into the box. Good defense by Tielemans.
We have seen Chelsea try to cut it back here 3 or 4 times now. And Tielemans is often the one there, but we see him now doing some attacking.
Doing it all by himself.
Box to box. And just dispossessed by former Leicester man Ben Chilwell. Certainly no love lost between these sets of digital players. And this is just back and forth play. So, not all games at 2-0 are exciting, but this one certainly is. Timo Werner, one-on-one. Schmeichel parries the ball away. And Leicester work their way out of trouble there.
What a save by Kasper Schmeichel there. Now here's the break now for Leicester if they can get numbers. Nice little move there. And that's got to be a penalty or foul.
Certainly fouled. Nowhere near the box, despite what my co-host maybe hoped for there. But James Madison here with the chance to whip one in.
It's a good opportunity for Leicester here if they can get it in. Too close to the goalkeeper, but it's not cleared too far out. Still an opportunity for Leicester to get a goal here if they can make something happen. As we see Jamie Vardy.
Wide. Maybe. I couldn't tell if that was supposed to be a cross or a shot, but Mendy comfortably gathered at the near post anyway. Chelsea maybe just slowing things down here in the 62nd minute.
And I will apologize for any of our viewers for any poor quality on the visuals and or audio for this. Our first match of the season, even with our podcast, we've taken a little bit of a break. So we're still working on the technical side of things here.
Well, and our play-by-play is not that great. Kai Havertz tees up for the hat trick. Schmeichel does well to save it, and then a little bit of a cheeky throw there.
A very interesting decision from the goalkeeper and from the youngster Keane on that distribution from the goalkeeper. But it's leading to some positives here. Down the left side, Justin. Poor cross.
And just a poor cross on his weak foot.
He had that player cutting into the box where if he would have had just a decent cross, maybe an opportunity there. But yeah, the poor cross that went right up into the stands that have fans in it, which for many sports fans, it's very unusual to see nowadays.
Well, a bunch of ones and zeros. Maybe luckily cannot get COVID.
So if Leicester is going to be able to get a goal here, who does Kian need to play through? Is it Tielemans has looked strong out there? We've seen very little of Jamie Vardy. What do we need to see more as Chelsea comes to try and score here?
It's Timo Werner. And it's 3-0 Chelsea here in the 72nd minute. Well, I would have to say it needs to be a Vardy party now more than ever. But I would like to see, James Maddison getting more involved. He's been playing a little more out wide than one would expect, rather than maybe slotting in behind. Vardy here on the ball, maybe just finds, let's say, who is dispossessed, and Chelsea back in control.
For the way the scoreline is looking, it's probably been a little bit of a closer match than what the scoreline shows. I think the youngster Kian is just maybe finding it a little difficult to get that final kick into the goal as we get a fourth goal.
Mo Werner again makes this one 4-0 Chelsea. With under 15 minutes to go, I have to agree with that sentiment, right? This is a pretty harsh scoreline. It's been a back and forth match, but obviously Chelsea, Mr. Liamnolan, Memphis 901 FC, able to just be a little bit more clinical from the goal here. See Vardy, he tries to cut it back. He's going to look for an open player. He looks for, I believe, Tielemans, but pass intercepted, and Chelsea again back on the front foot, despite the scoreline. Immediately looking to counter. Into the final 10 minutes, and it is all Chelsea at the moment. Trying to play an over, but Christian Fuchs says no fuking way. And
great play on words there, Dylan.
Thank you. It's a cheap play of what he already does. Here's Werner. He finds Havertz, and Havertz. Oh wow, great shot. And an even better save from Schmeichel to deny the German a hat trick.
So just want to give a heads up on the first week of action here for ESL Xbox. There have been some other matches played. Jerry 1012 beat Z Swilk 6-3. Also, Vince _Mascione lost to Spencer 1-5. We had a match that saw Calabriman lose to Regan 13 0-8. And we also saw Calabriman lose to NII AOSD 6-0.
And then I believe you can call him from last season.
I believe that's what it was. Yes, I couldn't remember. Spenclair had 2 matchups this week. His other matchup, he beat Heinz Ketchup 4-0. And then Reagan 13 beat JW Proctor 13. The score on that one was 13-0. So I would say this, Kian, the youngest player ever in EUSL, has to at least feel some positives that he wasn't on the losing side of the 13-0 loss.
He might even get a goal here. No. Mendy, again, coming off his line well and doing well to snuff out the final move there from Leicester. Just over a minute left in this one. Can't exactly see either side getting anything from the remaining time.
A little bit of a feed issue there, folks. Sorry, but we're here going to head into extra time. I'm anticipating maybe like 3 minutes of extra time.
Stand corrected. Mason Mount, the young Chelsea, I believe, academy graduate, makes this one 5-0.
And we will have 1 minute of extra time. That seems very low, but that's what this ref has decided. That is the final whistle. And the final score is 5-0 in favor of Liamnolan from Memphis. But again, the youngster from Orange County, just 8 years old, put up a good fight against the obviously going to be older competitor, even if it's a 13-year-old, still older than the 8-year-old. Dylan, any final thoughts on the way this match went?
Well, despite the scoreline, I really think it was a lot closer than it would seem. But the last, I think, 15 minutes is where you saw that, I don't know, maybe difference in quality, not to insult your son too much, but, maybe some age there making that difference. Really running the score up. I believe said player himself might be in the room. Who knows?
He is in here. I was asking if he had any words he wanted to share with anyone on his first match, his debut in the EUSL. I won't bring him on camera, but if he has any words he wants to say, do you have anything you want to share? How do you think the match went, Kian? Come stand right over here. I'll turn off my cam. Come stand over here, talking to the microphone. How was your first match? Great. What did you think of your opponent? Were they a tough opponent, or do you think you actually could have scored some goals, and do you think you just missed some opportunities in this match?
Missed opportunities.
Missed opportunities. Yeah, I think Dylan and I were saying there was a few goals in there that you should have scored on.
I had to be offside.
You heard it there, folks. He had to be offsides on the goal that he did score. That is key in there. Again, proof that it wasn't me playing. I was here doing the play-by-play, and we heard from the player himself. And if that doesn't sound like an 8-year-old, then I don't know what does. I'm going to bring my camera back on because he has now left the studio. But a 5-0 loss for Kian. He still is going to not be at the bottom of the table thanks to some very lopsided scores this week. His goal differential is at least better than a few of his competitors in this league. And I'm looking at those score lines and I'm looking at his play today. There's a chance we could see some victories from him this season.
Anything is possible. We could always bring Alan back in and watch watch the goals in favor equal out very, very quickly for him. There are positives there, and he's a young lad just making his debut. So, kudos to him for getting in there. Kudos to you for being Father of the Year and letting your child do this. Really speaks volumes to your character as he gets blown out 5-0 in his first match, right?
This all comes from there was a late drop in the league, and it was either they were going to have to redo the schedule or he just steps in. And I asked him, and he said sure. And he said, I don't care if I lose every match, I'll play. I'm like, oh, great, cool. We'll get you on there. Great attitude. And again, I'm hoping it's not losing every match, but who knows? We'll see what happens as the league continues. Speaking of the league, I will be playing my first match of the season on Saturday. I will have to go and look for a team to use because apparently I can't use the team I was hoping to use for the season. So we'll see what that's going to be. I will figure that out, and hopefully my outcome will be victorious. I am playing against, is it Mount Louster, I think, or...
Well, you can tell you've really been doing your scouting for this.
Yeah, match. I've been doing all my scouting this season.
You sound very prepared.
The name of my opponent is Hoosier B-Ball 22. But I think they also go by Mount Hoosier. Yeah, they also go by Mount Louster or something like that on Twitter, I believe. So that match will be on Saturday. If anyone wants to join it, just check our social media feed and I'll let y'all know when that's going to happen.
Yeah, it'll probably be a similar scoreline to the game that you just watched, with just as bad play-by-play. So, if...
that mean you're going to be on here, Dylan?
I think so. I'll let you know. Maybe I will give the few viewers a wonderful break and let them not experience that.
Okay, cool. So any last thoughts, Dylan?
Everyone have a wonderful, safe holiday weekend.
Same to... Wait, holiday week? Oh, it is a holiday weekend. Yes. Same thoughts as you, Dylan. Yeah, I forgot it was a holiday weekend. You said holiday. I'm like, we just had like a long holiday period, and yeah, but it is a holiday weekend. Thank everyone for watching. We're gonna get better at this. This was the first time in my new studio setup, so I'm still getting the hang of some of the equipment setup as well. But thank you for tuning in. We'll have more EUSL action throughout the season. This is the winter season. We will bring more for you on that. And the podcast will be returning sometime soon. Is a little bit of a hiatus because there's not really any matches to talk about. There's been a lot of player movement, and we will talk about that as soon as we get back going. But don't think we left y'all. We'll be back sooner rather than later, hopefully. But for Dylan, myself, Kian, Liam in the competition, hope you had a great time watching the match and listening to us blabber for a little bit. We're out.